All right, Coach Ware, almost 30 guys came out here today. Impressive show out. What have you noticed from these guys as they've gone through their first workouts?
Well, obviously they're serious. They're here at 5:30 in the morning through a snowstorm, so that was important. But we've got some good kids from some good schools, some great talent. Obviously, we want great character guys, but we're looking for some talent to be able to come out and sign these guys out of this tryout.
You've obviously been around arena football for a long time. It is football, but there's some different skill sets. What maybe is different from these guys that are coming from college, and what skills really stand out for arena ball versus those other traditional football?
Football's football, so
Sure.
the basic fundamentals are the same, but our game is way quicker. There's a lot of defenses they're not going to be used to seeing in the outdoor game, so the gameplay is very different, and the speed of the game is different. So there is some differences, but obviously football's football, and again, if you're a great football outside, you can become a great football inside.
Yeah, with that smaller field, it's kind of like that quick twitch. Like you need to be able to get to top speed quickly. You don't have a lot of time to do it.
Absolutely. The windows are smaller, so quarterback's got to be accurate. The speed of the game is just quicker, and so it is a different game, but anybody that's a great football can adjust.
Yeah. I've heard you guys already have a good amount of guys that are going to be invited to camp. It's going to be, what, 35 athletes at the camp. But you have to trim that number quickly. How tough is it in a short amount of time to figure out, hey, who are the guys we want to be on the Firebirds?
Well, the great problem we've got is we will have 35 great athletes, and I expect the 11 guys that we cut will sign with other teams and probably start. So the key for us is going to be just great evaluation from our coaching staff, putting them through just rigorous workouts and mentally and physically, and coming up with that 24 that's going to be able to win us a championship. And so, but that's going to be interesting. We have 11 guys that'll get cut that'll probably start and play against us this season. So a lot to work on. There'll be a lot of evaluation processes, a lot of work to be done, but we're super excited for 2024.
How tough is that knowing that the guy you might release, you might see later in the season, and you don't want him to beat you? You know what I mean?
I mean, it happens,
Yeah.
and that's the scary part, especially when you recruit the way we do. We bring in some of the best athletes in the country, and so we know some of these guys will be starting against us.
What does the timeline look like after today? When does camp start, and then when's the regular season kick off?
So yeah, our guys will report on April the 6th. They'll come in, we'll get our initial meetings done, get checked into their housing, and then from there we start practice on Monday morning. So April the 8th we'll start practice. By the 20th we'll cut down to our 24. That 21st, that Sunday, we'll do a fan appreciation day and let the community see the guys that we have in the community.
Awesome. Obviously, everyone's familiar with the Firebirds, but also the Albany Empire, the most recent installment of arena football. How is this approach different from what happened when Antonio Brown was leading the team?
Well, we're all about the community. So we have all local ownership, and Andy Gelcher, Mike Corda, and Richie Cesnot. And so I've also moved my family into the community. So us all being here, being an intricate part of the community, that's what we want to do. Last year, obviously the ending was not as what we wanted. We felt that we should have competed for another championship. We've got great expectation, obviously, but we wanted to be big about the community. We've been out doing as many events as we possibly can, and we just want to know, our community to know the Firebirds are your team.
What brought you back to Albany? You know, Darius Prince, a lot of guys left Albany, joined other teams. You're back. What about Albany enticed you to come back?
I've spent 4 years here now, and at the end of leaving Orlando at the end of the season, there was no place I wanted to be. And so I had a bunch of other job offers. I said, I've got to wait and see what's going on in Albany. I literally left. We lost in the semifinals. I literally got in my truck at about 5 o'clock the next morning, and I drove straight here. That's how much faith I had in the people that are leading the show for us. But I didn't want to be anywhere else. This is exactly where I wanted to be, and I'm just glad that we made it happen.
Last thing, Coach, what can fans expect when Week 1 kicks off and the Firebirds are playing?
Family-friendly entertainment. We have one of the best teams in the country. They can expect a lot of high scoring, a lot of big hits, and expect us to compete for a championship.